I'm Sam, and today we are looking at the difference between every time and all the time. We use all the time to talk about something that always or usually happens. For example, many people think that in the UK it rains all the time. And yes, it does rain a lot. We use every time when we are talking about each individual time something happens. For example, every time I go to the beach, it rains. We don't know how often I go to the beach, but each individual time I go, it rains. There! We hope you learn something every time you watch one of these videos.
Hi everybody, I'm James and welcome back to this week's English in a Minute. This week we're going to look at the differences between actually and at the moment. These two phrases are often confused, so let's take a look at an example. At the moment, I'm making this program, but actually I should be in a meeting. So this sentence shows both phrases, but they're actually quite different. Let's break it down. At the moment, I'm making this program. As you can see, I'm making this program right now. So at the moment means now, or in the present. But actually, I should be in a meeting. Now, in this part of my sentence, actually isn't talking about time at all. Actually means in fact or in reality. So, if you want to talk about now, say at the moment. But if you want to say in reality, say actually. At the moment, I want to go and make a coffee, but actually, I think I'll go back to my desk. Bye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tom here for BBC Learning English. Today, I'm going to explain the difference between everyone and anyone. When I say, hello everyone, I'm talking to all the people in a group or all the people watching this video. Anyone, however, relates to any one individual person in a group, and we often use it to ask questions. For example, is anyone listening? Or can anyone answer today's question? Here, I'm asking if any individuals in the group are listening. If the whole group is listening, we can say, yes, everyone is listening, which is something that English teachers love to hear.
Hi everyone, I'm Saskia, and in this episode, we're going to look at what it means when we add the word ever to the end of a question word. The most important thing to know is that when we add ever to a question word, it's not talking about anything specific. It often means we don't know the who or the where, or they are not important. Let's look at some examples. Whoever ate my cake is in big trouble. This example means that I do not know who ate my cake. Whenever I go to the cafe, there are never any sandwiches left. This means the time when I go to the cafe is not important. I never put on weight, so I can eat whatever I like. This means what I eat isn't important. The puppy followed the girl wherever she went. By adding ever to where, it means the place is not important. So if you want to say the time, place, person or thing you're talking about is not important or unknown, just add ever to the correct question word.
Hi everyone. What's the difference between maybe and may be? Well, we're going to find out in this English in a Minute. May is used to express possibility, usually not a very certain one. It's a modal verb, so it's always followed by a bare infinitive. The bare infinitive of be is be. Using the two together, we can make a sentence. Don't call her, she may be at work. Now, maybe is just one word. It's an adverb and it has a few uses. Most commonly, it means perhaps or possibly. In this case, it's often the first word in the sentence. Don't call her, maybe she's at work. However, put it in front of an amount to mean around or approximately. This video will be seen by, maybe 1 million people. Make it happen, people.
Hi, I'm Phil, and I'm going to tell you the difference between go on doing and go on to do something. Now, the meaning of go on depends on whether it's followed by the gerund or the infinitive. So if we have go on doing, that's the gerund. it means to continue doing something. So for example, I'd like to go on talking now, or I really like this city, I'd like to go on living here for years. Go on to do, that's the infinitive, means to progress on to something. For example, I'd like to go on to study more languages, or you could go on to have an even better job. Just remember that if you go on doing something, you don't change, and if you go on to do something, you do change. So, if you go on practicing your English, you'll go on to be even better than you are now.
Welcome everyone, Sam from BBC Learning English here. You probably already know that in English we have some verbs that are always followed by the infinitive, for example, want, and other verbs that are always followed by the gerund, for example, enjoy. But we also have some verbs in English that can be followed by either the infinitive or the gerund, and the meaning will change. For example, remember. Remember to bring your umbrella, where first you remember and then you bring your umbrella. This is commonly used when talking about the future. I remember meeting my best friend when I was little, where first I met my best friend and then I remembered it. This is now a memory, so it's commonly used when talking about the past.
Hi, I'm Tim, and I'm going to tell you the difference between to and enough when we use them as adverbs. They refer to quantity, but there's an important difference. Enough is usually positive. It means that something is suitable or sufficient. Oh, great! This t-shirt's big enough. It'll fit me perfectly. It's colourful enough for my sister's party. To usually has a negative meaning. It's used to say that something is a problem or it's unsuitable in some way. Oh no, this is too short. I can't wear this. It's too late to find anything else to wear. So if we have enough, it's probably a good thing. But if you see to, it's a bad thing.
Let's learn some common uses of the word present. Firstly, present as a noun is another word to mean gift. What's the best present you've ever received? Present can also be used as a noun to mean now, this very minute, often with the present. Stop talking about the future and start living in the present. We also use present as an adjective to mean in a particular place. I was present for all 7 classes. This word can also be used as a verb, but listen to the difference in pronunciation. Present. Present can mean show something to someone. It's quite formal. You can present research or information in a meeting. I presented the results of the survey to the rest of the team. Finally, present can also be used as a verb to mean introduce someone to others. I'd like to present my friend Nick.
Hi guys, this is Keith from BBC Learning English, and today I'm going to tell you about some informal ways of using English. Now, in English, when we have scheduled formal meetings, we can say we have an appointment. So for example, I can say I have an appointment with my doctor, or I have an appointment with my lawyer. But you never ever say I have an appointment with my friends. That's too formal. Now, to talk about appointments with friends, we simply say, I'm meeting my friends this weekend. So it's meet someone, not have an appointment. Remember, meet someone. And I'll meet you next week.